All right, you guys. So there'll probably be more people jumping on. I'm super pumped you guys are all on. The call that we are doing tonight is actually a call. I am in the round table, which is 5-star and above coaches. They put us like in a group, and it's a group that one day you guys are all going to be in. It should be on your vision board, and it's just a Facebook group, but it's basically where leaders and coaches and corporate people share things that are working and share things that can help your team become better leaders and manage time better and just have more success in the business. As most of you know, if you're a newer coach, you might not know this yet, but Beachbody is very big on we want to share and help each other. It's not one successful girl here and the rest aren't successful. We want to spread the success. That's why we have Google Drives. That's why we have tons of YouTube videos on how to get to Emerald or how to help 3 people, how to hit Success Club, how to become a 6-figure earner. All of those things, there are so many awesome YouTube videos that you can pull up. And when I first started this business, I actually did not have any training that we had. And we have now training, which is good. But I used to just pull up YouTube and I would pull it up and I would Google like, hey, what's my next step? How do I run a free group? How do I run a paid group? I do have some videos on my YouTube. I don't have a ton, but I tried to, and I need to be better about it, adding videos that a lot of people have questions on. So like how to run a free group. We have a video on there, how I invite, the 3 different steps to invite. And anytime you have a question, literally pull up YouTube because I guarantee that you will be able to pull one out. So the video tonight, I am not going to, originally I listened to this call in the round table and I was going to make a PowerPoint because I thought it was a really good call, but her story is really awesome. She is a mom and she was working full-time. She was a teacher and she built this business. And when she originally was going to build this business, she wanted to just do it like part-time. She wasn't even planning on making it a full-time income, and she built it in part-time hours and built a 6-figure income. So all of you guys that are on this call, I know have jobs, and that is the hardest part in the beginning. I will be completely honest. The most stress I ever had was when I first started this business, and that's because you always have to remember about what you're pushing for in the long run. If you think about right now and you're like, okay, do I get on a team call tonight or do I go to bed because I'm freaking exhausted? Your body's going to say, I'm freaking exhausted, go to sleep. And your mind's going to say that too. But if you think about, hey, if I get on this call, if I do this power hour, if I talk to 3 people before I go to bed tonight, where is that going to move my business forward for my future? And that was one thing I always told myself in the first 7 months of me coaching, when I had 2 jobs, when I was teaching dance and a mom, I didn't have a lot of time. And every time that I could, I worked this business because I only had 7 months before I was leaving my job and basically had to make it full time. So it was hard and you're tired and you don't want to do it, but write it down and even put a sticky note up, put it somewhere on your fridge, put it in your car, put it by your nightstand, and remind yourself why you're getting up early and why you're staying up late, so that you know you have these goals for where you want to be in a year. Because if you don't see the vision for in a year, then your vision right now is going to be like, heck no, I need my sleep. And it's something that even right now I have to tell myself, because if you guys have seen my posts, my baby right now is waking up every 2 hours and making me crazy. And there's mornings where my husband's like, you need to just actually go back to bed when he goes to bed. I'm like, no, I can't. So I'm reminding myself that if I want to keep sleeping right now, then I'm not going to be able to reach the visions and goals I have for our future. And you have to have that in the front of your mind at all times. So I'm going to tonight play the video that this girl put together, because I was going to put one together, but like we always say, when there's stuff that's awesome, you don't have to go recreate it. You can share it and learn from it. You guys will learn from her and hear her story, because you've heard mine a million times. And we'll just start there. If you have any questions at the end, let me know, because we won't stay on it for like the question part. But if you have questions, just let me know, take notes. And I also hopefully will have her PowerPoint soon because I had messaged her today, but I know she hasn't seen it yet. And that way, if you need any of the stuff off of there, I can get that to you as well. Oops, sorry. I always forget to screen share first. Share screen. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to, can everyone see it like this? It's easier if I can see the, is this okay? It'll be big like this. No one is nodding, so I hope it's okay.
And wait, you guys can hear this, right?
Okay, so like I said, time management is not a sexy topic, but the freedom that time management can give us is super sexy. The results that you can get in your business, whether in any season of your life, is super sexy. So talking about time management is super boring, but I'm going to make it sound as sexy as possible because, like I said, the results of having time management is something so sexy. This is a huge part of why I attract the people I do to my team. They're pretty much all busy moms, but because I'm good at time management, don't get that twisted with Rachel's not a hot mess express. No, I am, but I do have time management when it comes to my business. I'm late for other events, but for my business, it's because I'm having time management with my business. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so a little bit about me. I've been a coach for 3.5 years. When I started, I was in the process of, I was engaged, so we were getting married. We were fixing up our house. So I hadn't moved into that house yet. Since then, we've moved twice. I started a new job. I was a new teacher. So moving into that classroom, huge transition there. I was actually student teaching at the time when I started coaching. So I was actually basically working a full-time job for free and then doing homework on top of it. So kind of similar to teachers now who are going for their master's degree. I felt like that was similar to student teaching. And then, like I said, we've moved twice. I've had a baby. He's not a baby anymore. He's 18 months. But up until last June, I worked full time and still had an awesome business, had a child at home. I did have a baby at one point. I did the new mom thing. I've, been super overwhelmed with that. And just gone through all these different seasons of life. And actually, while I was still teaching full time, our team, Flex Sports, locked in Elite while I was still at my corporate America job. So when people say they don't have time, I'm like, ha. Like managing a team of almost 700 coaches while I was pulling in Success Club higher than 50s on average. And, so rocking my own business and then managing a team, pushing everybody else forward, meaning that, we can't do Elite, just me. So it was everybody, a team collectively, and I was overseeing that while I was working full time. So when people say they don't have time, I'm like, like I said, we've moved twice. That's always people's excuse. So I'm a firm believer in the fact that we fill the time that we have. It would have been really easy for me with all these transitions. Like I was a very overwhelmed new mom. I really struggled with postpartum anxiety. It would have been very easy for me to shut down coaching and say I can't do it right now. And I do love that about coaching, that it can be whatever you need it to be for different seasons of your life. But please don't get this twisted. I have never not shown up for my business even when it was hard. I made it work because of time management and because I knew that starting and stopping would not get me to my end goal. And when I got into coaching, it was not my goal to leave my job. I have on the side here, I actually replaced my teaching income about a year into the business, a little more than a year. And I legitimately chose to keep working, because I wanted to. I didn't have to. We had other goals and stuff, so I continued to work, but I had already matched that income. So at that point, everything else was kind of gravy, I guess. That's a weird expression. But, so I was still able to grow to a 6-figure a year income with just Beachbody alone, 3 years into my business, less than 3 years into my business. And while still, you guys, let me bring that home, I literally chose to be at my 9 to 5. And I was a teacher, full-time teacher, special ed teacher. And I I think I still could have made it work this year, but I just felt like that's a different story for a different day. And I wanted, then my dream became to be home. And because I had worked so hard, I was able to do that. But that was not my goal when I got in. I just wanted a part-time hustle. So it's awesome that this could be a part-time hustle that brings you a full-time income, you know? So time management is a skill. So a skill is defined as the ability to do something well or having expertise in. So a skill takes practice, right? If you're a skilled basketball player, just like always pick the most random things. You don't just like, I mean, some people have like natural talent. Sure, some people have natural talent in time management, but you're going to say like you can't practice something really well or really hard and get good at it. No, if you practice something really hard, anybody can get good at a skill. Time management is a skill. Time management is defined as the ability to use one's time effectively or productively, especially at work. So I became a boss at this because when I was teaching full time, I built my 6-figure-a-year business working at the end 2 to 3 hours. I'm going to say 1 to 3 hours a day because that's all I had. That's legitimately all I had. And I continued living my life. If we had Scott's family and my family live very close, we do a lot of stuff with our families, like on the weekends and stuff. And if stuff's going on, like I never was like, I have to stay home and work. I mean, there were a couple times like it was like a soccer game or something. And like, I would just say to Scott, like, I'm going to stay and work a little bit. But I'm being serious in the fact that I built a 6-figure-a-year business working 1 to 3 hours a day. So I'm going to give you my tips on things to do and not to do, okay? First thing, multitasking is bad. Every society paints multitasking as like a superpower. Like, I'm multitasking, like, and that is like the connotation is that's a good thing. It's not. I'm going to give you a really good analogy, okay? I love analogies. My team knows this about me. So, and maybe some of you guys have heard this analogy before. I've done a little like brief training of time management in Beachbody Champs. This is not that. That is an overview. This is like down in the trenches. Like I'm going to give you things to do and not to do. So, but I did give this analogy because it's really good. So how many of you guys are moms that are on this call? Raise your hand. How many of you guys, okay, like no one's first. Okay, I can see some of you guys. So anyways, if you're, whatever, you can still like relate to this analogy. So if you've ever been cleaning your house where you live, have you ever like looked, you're like, so you're vacuuming and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to stop vacuuming, the kids' shit's everywhere. I gotta pick that up. And then you're like, oh my gosh, the blankets, they're all over the floor. I'm just like using my own house to do this. But the blankets are everywhere. Oh, and then you're like, you look in the kitchen, like, oh my gosh, look at the island, like the bar area, like no dishes are taken care of. So you start to do that a little bit, and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta wipe down these counters. Like you have not finished the dishes, so you start to do that. Okay, so now you've done. If you look around, what have you accomplished in your house? Let's say that you did that for 30 minutes. You've accomplished jack shit. So instead of doing a little bit of everything, you want to do one task start to finish, just like cleaning your house. Like if you're vacuuming, just vacuum and then worry about the kids' toy. Well, probably a kid's toys in vacuum, but you know what I mean? So it's the same thing in your business. You need to do, just in life, this is just a life tip, to do everything, one task start to finish, at least your version of start to finish. You want to do all of one task at once and then move on to the next task. If you're starting and stopping things, like if you're like, okay, I'm going to send out an invite. Now I'm going to answer my messages. Messages are coming in. And then, oh, I just remembered I need to check in with Becky. I need to follow up with her. You're getting nothing done. You are like grasping at straws. You're going to feel so burnt out in 30 minutes and you will have felt like you accomplished nothing because you accomplished nothing. Whereas if in 30 minutes, you would not believe how many invites I can get out in 30 minutes. I bet it's 100. I've never attended myself because I don't typically do invites for 30 minutes because I can do so many now. This time, if you take nothing else from this, that's not true. I'm going to say that again later, but write that down. Like you need to do all of one task, start to finish. Don't be jumping all over the place. So here are my like examples of working in Power Pockets too. So if you have 15 minutes, like, so when I was at work, I'd have a 30-minute lunch. It's really like 25 minutes. So I had to like go to the bathroom, grab my lunch, warm it up, and sit at my desk and eat. Because the staff lounge is a toxic place anyway, especially if you're a SPED teacher. So I would just eat in my room. And so in 15 minutes, I mean, these are messages like, hey girl messages, new follower, that's new messages, whatever. So I'm doing all my invites, like getting them out. Not everyone's going to respond to my invites. So I'm shooting out to see who's going to, like respond with me. I'm not drinking after every slide. So let's say my 15 minutes is up, okay? Awesome, that's great. Power Pocket, check, because I just got all of my inviting done for the day. Like that's what I want you to do with Power Pockets, is to start to finish one task and then be done. Unless it's a really big task and you need to revisit it more than one time, but get it off so you can check it off your list. That is so satisfying to be able to check things off a list or throw that Post-it note away, whatever. So maybe that's one Power Pockets, 15 minutes, just invites. Next one is new messages, 15 minutes. I do new followers, people who are liking, commenting, watching my stories, sending out those new messages. 15 minutes, crank them out. Don't overthink it, just reach out. And then follow-ups. And you can do these 3 things in any order, but these are where you need to start in your business, is invites, new messages, and follow-ups. And I'm going to talk more about that. So follow-ups take me a little bit longer. I'm getting kind of away from doing them every day, but it's a different story for a different day. But you have to be using some sort of tracking system. If you're not using some sort of tracking system, you are losing money. People are falling through the cracks, and this is a training for a different day, but you're literally throwing money out the car window is like what I think of it, if you're not using a tracking system. So get on board with tracking and just do all of that, start to finish. You're not going back and inviting people. You're not sending out new messages. You're not answering your messages. Do you see answering messages on this list? No. So you shouldn't be answering messages until you've got these 3 things off your task list. And again, they don't need to be all at once. It doesn't need to be, this is maybe an hour put together. Does it need to be? And maybe it would, like, it does not take me 15 minutes to send out my invites. Like and keep in mind at the beginning, it's going to take you a little bit longer and it's going to feel more awkward. Meg talked about this on the National Wake Up Call today. When you start something new, it's going to feel awkward, but with practice, that's a skill, you will get better and more efficient at it the more that you do it, and then it will become natural. Like for me, I'm not joking, I really think I could send out 100 invites in 30 minutes, or what did I say, an hour, 30 minutes? I can do it in 30 minutes.
Okay, really fast. I just wanted to pause it there. So when we do the live power hours, you guys, the whole point of doing that power hour is so that you see when you really stick to the time, like you have 5 minutes to send birthday invites. What I do with birthday invites is I will write one. Typically my birthday invite, I only send to girls usually, unless it's like a guy that like a family member. Otherwise I only send them to girls. But I'll typically just copy that, whatever I write, and it's like, hey girl, hope you had an awesome, or happy birthday, hope your day was filled with so much love and joy, is typically what I write. The first time I write it, I copy it, and then I'll go through all my girls on that list, and I will send them. Now, if it's someone that's like a coach or a challenger or someone that I am really close with, then I'll switch it up and make it more personable. But otherwise, I go through and I send those out so that I knock that task out right away. Same with new messages and follow-ups. Like she's saying, you get faster as you go. So in the beginning, when you go to do invites, if you say, all right, I have 15 minutes today to invite, and you're going to invite to maybe a challenge group or the coaching opportunity. We have our webinar on Thursday. So right now, if I was you, what I would be doing is inviting people to the coaching opportunity and letting people know hey, I'm super excited. My team is hosting a glimpse into what we do as coaches. One of the leaders will be hosting it, and she's going to be sharing all about what we do, how we make money, how we help people. She's going to be answering all the questions that you have, sharing about income and just how you build this business at home, and all of the stuff that you would need to know about it. Would you be interested in learning more? That is a simple invite that you can send out right now to tons of women. Something else you can add into it is why you think they would make a good coach. Is it because they're into fitness or they're into health? Is it because they're a mom just like you? Is it because they maybe talk about all the time how much they hate their job and they're unhappy with their job? I always like to add something in that why I'm reaching out to them and make it so that they know that that message is also meant for them. But that's what I would be doing, is getting people into that, because as a coach in the group, you want to get on that webinar and you want to know that you have people that are ready to learn about it with you. We've never done a webinar yet. This is going to be our first one. But one of the things that I think was happening with the sneak peeks is you add people in and then they sit in there and it's all day long. So you get lost in the videos because we obviously have 5,000 things going on during the day and they don't end up watching them. So I'm hoping with this, it will be 1 hour. They'll jump on and they'll be able to learn everything that they need to learn and then answer questions right then. But your goal as coaches, whether you're a brand new coach or you've been a coach for a while, is get at least 20 girls. Reach out to 20 different people and invite them. And for instance, you could do it starting tomorrow in 15-minute little packets, send invites. And you can have your message, like that first part that I said is basically like my generic message. And then what I do is I send that to everyone, but then at the end, I would add in that second part of why I think that they would be good at it or why I'm inviting that specific person. Because there are different reasons. Some people I do invite because they're into fitness or they're sharing about their journey. Or like someone I invited the other day, she just is like super, super sweet. And so I told her, like, you just share super nice and sweet things on your social media. You can tell that you lead with heart. And that's what the women that I want on our team are people that want to do that, is lead with heart. So just be real and be honest and send that. But if you tomorrow go to send invites and you're like, okay, and sorry, I'm touching the screen. That probably looks weird to you guys. But if you go to do invites tomorrow and you say, I have 15 minutes, I'm going to invite people to our sneak peek. Just only say I have 15 minutes. Don't set a number, because if you say I'm going to invite 15 people and you're not able to do that, it's going to stress you out and you're going to feel like you failed and you're going to feel like you don't have time to do this. So say, I'm just going to send invites for 15 minutes and invite people into this. Go and do it. See how many people you can get to. Don't respond to anyone's messages and just do that. At the end of that 15 minutes, even if you set your alarm, let it go off and be done with that task. If you want to later on, do more, then do another 15 minutes if you have time later on. But like she said, do not stress about it and do not overwhelm yourself with a number, because sometimes it is stressful. And in the beginning, you're like, oh my gosh, this coach sends 30 invites and the time I sent 2. But in the beginning, you're nervous, you overthink it, and you're scared. Right now, I can knock out invites, like she was saying, very quickly because I kind of know what I say each time. I know what I'm looking for in my coaches, and that part is super simple for me. So, but it took time, and it took getting used to how to invite. Same with new messages and follow-ups. If you're going to go do those, give yourself a time limit and say, I have 10 minutes, and this is when I'm going to do it. Something that they had us do at New Leadership Conference back when I went to California like 2.5 years ago. When you become, it was 2-star, now it's a 1-star coach. When you become a 1-star coach, you get invited to a conference in LA and you go see Beachbody Corporate, and you get to, if you have a certain amount of points, you get your hotel paid for, and it's just a fun weekend of learning and building and learning from top coaches. Doing workouts with trainers. And when I went to that, they had said, write out your schedule. And this is, I'm like super unorganized, so this was a lot for me and not something I could really stick to. But they said, write out your schedule for the day and mark in the stuff that you have. So maybe your kids go to school at this time, they're getting up at this time, this is what time you need to be at work, this is what time you're working out, this is what time you're having dinner. But schedule it all out and just look at it on a piece of paper and then say, okay, this is where I have an extra 10 minutes, or this is where I have an extra 15 minutes, because we all have 24 hours in a day, and you will be so surprised at how much time we waste just scrolling or just like doing stupid crap that you don't even need to be doing. And I have noticed that right now I've really tried to start cracking down, because before I didn't have a baby, so I could work when I wanted to. Chloe was in school and I didn't have to be super efficient about my time. I just had, throughout the day when I wanted to do it. Now that I have a baby and I only have certain times, because when he's up, he needs me, I am starting to really crack down on like, okay, I have 15 minutes. This is what I need to go in and do. Simple things like logging into, checking on your challengers, checking on your coaches, even messages. You guys, I try not to open any messages that I can't respond to right then. So I will go in at certain times of the day, and you'll start to realize this now that I'm telling you, because you'll see that that's when I respond in all the messages that you're in different groups and stuff. But I go in and do those messages all at the same time, because if you are logging into your messenger whenever someone responds, then you're going to be logging in every 15 minutes and like wasting so much time of your day. And then you always feel overwhelmed and like always behind. So even if you send all those invites during the day, and then at night you save 15 minutes to go respond to people, you can respond to them that night. My mindset that I have, and what I hope that people understand, is I will always get back to you within 24 hours. I cannot guarantee I will get back to you in an hour or in 4 hours. It will depend on what's going on in my life. And I will always get back to you within 24 hours. And obviously I try to do sooner, but like just depending on stuff, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. So set that mindset for yourself and be really sufficient about what you're scheduling out. And I really do challenge you guys to write out your entire day and then see where you have an extra 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Maybe it's when you're driving to work. Usually that's when you would do your personal development. National Wake Up Call is a perfect time when you're driving to work. Maybe at night when you sit down, you tell your husband or your kids or whatever, hey, I need 15 minutes. No one can talk to me and I need to do this. Don't be afraid to ask your husbands, and don't be afraid to put your kids to bed 15 minutes earlier, or let them play for 15 minutes, or sit down and read a book while you say, hey, I need just 15 minutes just to do this. And then go do it for 15 minutes. But also know that if you tell your family 15 minutes, it needs to be 15 minutes. Don't say, oh, well, this person's talking to me, or she wants to buy a challenge pack, or she wants this. You have to shut off at 15 minutes. Do you need me to take him? Okay, I'm pressing play again.
So pay attention to what's on this list, okay? I'm going to give you awesome tips, tangible tips that you're going to write down or screenshot from this presentation to put into effect now to stop from getting burnt out and to get you to your goals. It hurts my soul when people tell me, when my girls tell me that they have been working 2 hours a day and that they invited 5 people in that day. I'm like, what? What? No. Then we're doing it wrong. So here we are with the training, because I want you to use your time super effectively so you can get the biggest bang for your buck, because your time is money. So, number 1, stop following coaches. I do not want, after this presentation, to get a bunch of follows from people watching this presentation because you're like inspired or whatever. No, you are allowed to follow 2 coaches. Okay? I'm just kidding. I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do, but I think it's important that you follow, if your direct coach is working the business, I think it's important that you follow them so that you can kind of just stay in tune, because you joined them for a reason. And you probably want to, and just get ideas. You're very closely related, probably in niche. So I think it's important that you follow your coach, and maybe you have a friend or 2 in the business, but everybody is guilty of this. I do not follow other coaches. I don't follow the coaches on my team unless they're baby new and they need me to mentor them. And then I really just check in from time to time. But it will suck you in. I have a bunch of friends in this business. Like I adore them. I think they're my friends. I do not follow them because they do a lot of stories, and it's easy to get sucked in. And then it's easy to compare. And comparing is a joy stealer. If you have another friend who you follow, you have to make sure that you're not competitive with them, because it will steal the joy from you. I mean, I have friends in this business that I do feel competitive with them, and I like when they're have awesome stuff happening in their business, you're not genuinely happy for them without feeling like I should be doing that. Then you need to rearrange. I cry inside when coaches tell me that they're following me for inspiration. Oh, that's a bunch of crap. Like this is gonna be kind of a tough lecture. Toasty here. That's like crap. You can't be following a bunch of coaches for inspiration because you're gonna lose yourself. And I'm speaking from experience. I also learned pretty early on that to follow a bunch of coaches, I was going to not be able to stay in my own lane. I would go to their pages once in a while. I mean, there's a search bar, guys, so use the search bar, and I would go there if I needed to see, like, when I started, Anita Meyer was like tech coach, and she's local to me. I'm like, how's Anita talking about recruiting? I'd like go check it out. But if you're following them, like you're gonna get sucked in because you naturally look up to them. When new coaches coaches tell me that they saw my training on Champs and they're following me because they're inspired, like I want to say, please unfollow me, but that sounds really mean, and I'm not going to do that. I'm like, good for you, girl. But you're not going to be. You want to be careful because if you're a new coach, I've been in the business for 3.5 years, going through all these seasons of life, and I've never not shown up for myself. Some people think that's not relatable. Some people think my fitness journey isn't relatable, of being a C-section mom with abs again. You have to really be careful with that. So I'm going to really challenge you. If you follow a bunch of coaches, go unfollow them, like right now. Besides your coach and probably your success partner is really the amount of coaches that you should be following. That's all I follow is my success partner, and my coach doesn't work in business. So I follow, legitimately, I follow 2 coaches. Like I said, I will go, if I'm laying in bed, I'm really good friends with Janie Ennis. We do not follow each other on Instagram because I get sucked into her stories all day long because I think we're friends, but I could get sucked into her stories all day long. That's not moving my business forward. Janie's Instagram stories is not moving my business forward. So I don't follow. I just watch them if I have spare time, in bed before I'm going to sleep, Okay? Because the fastest way to kill something special is to compare it to something else. Your business is something special. Please, please, please stop comparing it to other people. Nobody else's business is your business. Literally. Number 2, stop answering messages on the fly. If you're on my team, then you've heard me say this about 75,000 times, but people still do it. I did it at the beginning. Maybe raise your hand if you've ever answered messages on the fly. Oh yeah, everyone's hand should be raised, because it's natural especially when you're new, because you're excited, you are you want that first sale. It's exciting, but it's not sexy. In fact, it's actually really salesy to answer messages on the fly. And I'm going to give you a couple of reasons. If you've heard one of my trainings before, it's not going to change it. But there's a statistic or something out there. I make up statistics every second of every day, but there is actually a statistic that people need to hear something 5 to 8 times before they believe it or it sinks in. So I hope some of you guys are on number 5 or 8. It is super salesy if you are answering people's messages on the fly, because it makes you look desperado for their $40. You are not desperado for $40, I promise. Okay. And you don't want to that's what everybody says. They don't want to be salesy. Then don't answer messages on the fly. Okay. And if you're wanting to build a team, you do not want to show the universe and be showing your prospects that your hands are glued to your phone 24/7. That is not sexy. Other people do not want to join this business. No one is coming to me like, Rachel, I want to build a business and be on my phone all day. No one has ever said that to me. No, that's not sexy. People want to build a business so they can have more freedom with their family. Freedom does not look like this. It does not look like that. Okay? So don't give people that illusion, because then people who are asking you all these zillion questions and you're answering them right away. First of all, you have then told people that you don't have business hours, you are at their beck and call, and then they're going to be like, well, great, thanks for answering all my messages, but I sure as hell never want to do what you do. No, thank you. Okay, so stop answering messages on the fly. It goes back to that time management tip that you're not going to be doing all of one thing at one time. You will, after this, if you don't already, you will be scheduling a time where you answer all of your messages at once. Because every time that you're going to an app and responding to one message, you're wasting seconds, and seconds add to minutes, and minutes add to hours. I mean, that's just that seems dramatic, but it's a huge waste of time. Huge. I already said that. And it doesn't put stock in your business. It doesn't make your business look like a business. When I email businesses on the weekends, if I'm working on a Saturday morning, they don't email me back. They don't work on Saturdays. So if people email me on the week, like on my day off, I don't respond to them. They can wait until I'm back in my office, which is right here. And no one will want to join your team. That's seems mean, but I'm curious. Okay. Number three, just do your crap. Guys, don't be distracted by the time wasters. It's a distracting world out there. Okay? Get the crap done that needs to get done to move your business forward. There are things that will move your business forward and things that will not. So think about that. Will this move my business forward? And do not argue with me about answering messages, moving your business forward. They're already in motion. It's fine. You need to keep moving your business forward. Okay. I will win that argument all day, every day. So that looks like invites, follow-ups, messaging new likes and followers. And then, this kind of stuff, sorry. Then last is responding to messages. Notice that's last. It needs to stay last because your other stuff won't get done because people will then respond to your responses and your inbox will fill up again. It is a cycle, and it's okay if people wait 24 hours. It's okay. On the weekend, people wait 48 hours from me, and it's okay. I try to set aside two little power pockets of time where I can answer messages. And sometimes that happens, and sometimes it doesn't. And they are all still breathing, as far as I know. Then, if you have extra time, then you can do things like check the team page, watch other people's stories, post in your challenge group. Post in your challenge group should probably be at the top, and watching other people's stories should be last, but it's not in order. So seriously, stop doing the crap that doesn't matter. Stop looking for the perfect training that will give you all the magical ponies and unicorns. It doesn't exist. I mean, sounds so stupid, but it's so true. Every coach who's been in the top 10 will just tell you, just do the vitals, do your crap. If you're doing a training, any training, I don't give a shit if it's paid or not paid. Do one and do it start to finish. Don't go half in. And then people tell me this all the time. They're like, I did XYZ training, Rachel, I know you did it and it worked really well for you, but you must just have that secret sauce because it just didn't work for me. And I'm like, well, did you do this? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, that was part of the training. And I did it. So, go all in, do all of the parts. I mean, it's designed that way for a reason. People got results from the training or whatever. So if you want the results, it's just like our programs. If clients look at before and after picture that a coach, shredded from Lift 4, and they're like, I want those results. I look like that before picture. I want those after results. But I'm not going to do all the workouts. and definitely don't want Shakeology, but I still want those results. If you would say you're crazy. So it's the same thing with trainings and doing your crap every day. Do your vitals. Don't get distracted by the shiny objects. Okay.
All right, and you guys, with that, do your crap. We actually, in Vegas last year, Micah Folsom, who is our grandma coach of the team, is huge on this, but she also spoke in Vegas to us about this, about just doing the crap and the things that need to get done in your business, because you can watch training after training after training, but at the end of the day, if you don't do your invites, if you don't do your personal development, and if you don't share, your business isn't going to grow. You might have watched millions of trainings. Do not get caught up in being a coach that's like, oh, well, I need to know everything, because I promise you 3 years into this business, I still don't know tons of stuff and I'm still learning. Something that I would do is set your goals every single month. And this is what I do when it comes to like training videos, is I set my goals for the month. And then if there's certain things that so if you're a brand new coach and you want to watch some training videos, because obviously training videos are awesome, then set your goals that you want to help 3 people because you want to hit Success Club and you want to become an Emerald coach. Those will be the videos that you watch. And what I would do is just pick 1 or 2 videos every single week and put that maybe on Saturdays or Sundays. Put that in your day where you're like, I'm going to watch 2 training videos. And if you don't have 45-minute videos, sometimes are awesome and they're super helpful. But if you don't have 45 minutes to watch it, then don't pick a training that's 45 minutes. Because if you only watch 10 minutes, like she says, you're not going to get the same message in what the whole point of the video is. You have to watch the whole thing. So pick maybe 2 trainings on Emerald that are both 10 minutes, because you only have 20 minutes, and be serious about that. Do not commit to watching all different videos. Even if I post videos or another coach posts videos in our team page, if that's not scheduled and you don't have time for it that week, that is an extra thing that you will get to. Don't feel like, oh, well, I'm not going to invite today because I have to watch this video. No. Never, ever, ever watch training videos until you have sent invites and done your personal development and shared your fitness and health journey, or shared on your Insta story, because those are the things that are going to move your business forward. And at the end of the day, if you don't do the vitals, then your business doesn't move forward. It's that simple. And you don't want to be a coach that's stuck on trying to do the trainings, or even stuck on, I share things because I know they're good for you guys to hear them, but I share them so that when you have time, you can go watch them. Same with National Wake Up Call. Listen to it in the car. Do not try, if you don't have time to listen to it at home, don't waste time and just listen to it in the car. Turn it on. Same with your podcast. Turn your podcast on in the car so that you're getting that out of your way and you're not scheduling that in other times when you can be doing your invites, when you can be writing up a post. And also take time on Sundays to schedule out what you're going to do. That way you kind of know, okay, Tuesday I'm posting a transformation. Wednesday I am posting about this. Thursday I'm posting about this. Have a little game plan of the 2 posts that you're going to do, and always ask yourself, Alex talked about this on her team call that she did for our team, that if you have like kind of a plan so that you talked about coaching, you talked about challenge groups, you talked about Shakeology, and you can kind of check those off every single week and then go from there.
So here's some extra tips. Find the joy in the parts of the business that don't necessarily bring you joy, okay? Make things a game. Like if you have 15 minutes, make it a competition with yourself. If you're competitive with yourself, how many new messages you can send out, and then try to beat your score the next day, do things like set a timer and see how many you can get in, challenge yourself. And then do some mindless activities while you're multitasking. Like my husband and I love reality crap TV. It's mindless. Like I don't need to pay attention. There's no storyline. They're all just drunk all the time. It doesn't matter what the reality show is. And so I can send new messages. I can send thank you messages for people watching my stories while we're watching that, or I can like edit photos while we're watching that. But I'm still spending quality time with my husband. This sounds kind of weird, but we like have that agreement.
And one more thing that I wanted to say. So something I'm doing, and you guys, I cannot say that it's going to work because I have no idea if it's going to be good for my business or not, but it's something that I'm implementing just because I don't have tons of time right now, and I'm trying to figure out ways I can still feel like I'm a little on track and not falling apart. I'm posting one quote every single day. So if you were to go to Jessie Mershon Fitness, you can see kind of what I'm doing. So I'm doing one quote, and then I'm doing 2 photos. So basically, I know every single day that I'm going to put up a quote and then maybe 2 photos. I might not do 2 photos. It might be one tonight and one tomorrow morning, and then it goes back to the quote. And it's going to look kind of organized on my Instagram. If you go look at it, the quotes are going to be in the left, and then I have 2 pictures, and then it will keep shifting. So they'll all stay in a line. One of the reasons I'm doing that is because I think it's easy to talk about things in a quote and then write a little bit about it, but it's also easy to plan ahead for that. So I can have those quotes ready. I can write out what I want to write with it, and I'll have that ready. Therefore, I don't have to worry day of about what I'm posting, except for like my fitness picture or my picture with my kids. Those are basically going to be, it's going to be those 2 kinds of pictures. Pictures with my family, pictures of me working, or pictures of my fitness, and then I'll always have that quote. So for me, that's just easier. Today, something super simple. I wrote, some days you eat salads and go to the gym. Some days you eat 20 tacos and drink a margarita. It's called balance. And then I wrote something with it. And that way I'm still on my social media, and I didn't have to even think about it. It was ready to go today for Taco Tuesday, and I could think ahead of what I wanted to post. Again, if you start doing something like that and it's not working, I have no idea if it's going to be good for me or not, but right now it's what I can do.
Find some things that work for you while you sleep. So this might look like, I've talked with a couple of my rock stars about doing this. Like sometimes it takes a little bit of front loading and taking a little bit of extra time, like maybe on the weekends when you have a little bit more time, but get organized. So do things, you want to get your stuff in order. On your Instagram profile, you want to have in your link, you probably have a link tree, most people do. Please, 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 I just feel like I need to say this because I see it way more than I should. Please don't have your Beachbody link on there. People will not click it. Have a place for forms to collect interest. It looks super legit to have a form, and when you call it an application, like that is legit. Other like companies, they don't have like, not applying to get their whatever XYZ. Okay, have one for your boot camp and for joining your team if you're trying to grow a team, which I assume you are. You're here. And so that's on your Instagram profile, and then on Facebook, these are things that work like while you sleep. So in like your challenge group, if you're doing, so if you're doing a coach sneak peek, a group on Facebook, you can link that to your current challenge group, boot camp, virtual gym, whatever you call it. You can link that. So then they see that up at the top. Somebody might click that while you're sleeping. You didn't even have to send an invite to them. They're curious what that is. And then maybe they become your next coach. I've done that before. One of my diamonds totally joined that way. Danielle totally joined that way. And on Facebook, again, with your profile picture and your cover photo, have some sort of information, and you can link those forms. You can use other forms too, like some people like Typeform or Woohoo forms, doesn't matter what you use. But you can have a link to those, like when people click your Facebook cover photo or your profile picture, so that people like know where they can get more information. They know what you have to offer. Those are things that work for you while you sleep. It's time to get efficient AF, okay? Use my little hacks. Like I hope they seem really simple, but they save time. I have a couple more tips. with this, so these are some more of my little hacks to save time. All these other ones too. You guys, if you seriously, I promise, I hope everybody is unfollowing all the coaches you're following. I guarantee that's where you're spending way too much time, is following coaches and watching their stories, because it's easy to get sucked in. I get it. I've done it. Okay, so save yourself some time. If you're not using scripts / conversation guides, whatever you want to call them, you're missing out, because the way you run your challenge group, boot camps, virtual gym, whatever you want to call it, that doesn't change. So the way that you're talking about it to people, that doesn't need to change either. If I typed out every single response, that's a huge waste of time. Shakeology's formula, it doesn't change. 80-day obsession, it doesn't change. So why does the way I type it out once, okay? And then use that conversation guide when you're talking to prospects. If you don't have one, I guarantee your coach does. Okay, this is what somebody else nicknamed donut texting, and we just adopted it, which I already had this made, but donut texting is built into Instagram now. But if you're not solely using Instagram, you can use donut texting. I have the directions for setting it up. And what it is it basically creates a shortcut. If I were to type out donut, it could type up it would populate in a text or anywhere on my phone this huge long, whatever part of the script that I wanted. So I have this for all different chunks of my script. I have it for all of my follow-ups. So I type in like FU1, and it's a little bit therapeutic, I'm not gonna lie, FU1 through 7, and then that populates what I need it to say. This is built into Instagram now. I'm sure somebody's putting it in the chat, but it's kind of obvious what it's called, but that just kind of came out super recently. I already had this made, but you can have it if you're using Facebook still too. Set up your donut texting. This is one of those things that's going to take you a couple minutes to set it up. It really doesn't take that long, and then it's going to save you so much time. I was still doing copy and paste from conversation guides, but on Instagram, so I'm having to go back to my conversation guide and my Google Docs app and then paste it into Instagram. That's a waste of time. Going back and forth, it's a waste of time. Instead, I can type vids with 2 S's, and all of the links for the programs I think they would love come up. That took a millisecond versus going back and forth and clicking on the wrong app. It's a huge waste of time. Okay. And then the last step is create a schedule and stick to it. It doesn't.
And you guys, for those of you who, if you don't know what she's talking about, the donut texting and how to do that, remind me because I could forget, but I can post a video in the team page for you guys so that you know how to do that. That way it's easy to just send something without having to retype everything, because you really do waste time retyping everything when you're basically saying the same thing, and you don't need to do that.
I have to look at the same every day. But I was but write it down. Use Google Calendar. Use your own planner. Doesn't matter. Get organized and stick to your schedule. If you tell yourself that you're giving yourself 20 minutes at lunch to do as many invites as you can, then do it. But nobody can hold their hand or tell somebody that you want them to hold you accountable. Like Meg said on the National Wake Up Call, she tells her husband, have to get these 5 whatever done in the next 10 minutes before I want to go do family stuff. Make sure I get this done. Because at the end of the day, you need to do your crap to move your business forward. It does not need to take a long time. I promise. I've not done it. I'm not taking it. Obviously, you need to do your vitals. You have no business doing this business if you aren't doing your own work on yourself. I just feel like that needs to be said. Okay? And that's it.
Okay. So that is it. So hopefully that helped you guys. Again, sticking to your vital behaviors. Like she said, if you are not doing your own vitals, if you are not showing up in your fitness journey, if you are not sticking to eating clean. Not that you need to eat clean all the time, but if you are not meal prepping and sharing that stuff, you're not letting people learn from you. And you don't have to know everything, but you do have to be working on yourself every single day and working on your mindset and working on your fitness journey and working on your health, because if you're not, then you can't help someone else get started on that. So always, always, always first evaluate yourself and see, am I feeling my absolute best? Am I doing the things every single day that I need to do to feel my best? And if the answer is no, then you guys don't try to build a business at this second. Focus on your workout, your personal development, and sharing your journey. And just be real when you share your journey. Post it and let people know, hey, I'm on day one. Krista this week put up a post and said, she had fallen off and she was back on and she's ready to go, and she did her day one and she did her day two. And there is nothing wrong with letting people know, like, hey, I have fallen off too, and I'm not perfect and I don't pretend to be, and here I go, now I'm started. Let people hear you saying day one, day two, day 56. It sounds so stupid, you guys, but it lets people go with you on the journey that you're on. It lets them see that you made it to day 30, that you made it to day 40, and that you're, going out and doing things, but you're still sticking to this journey. And even if you fall off for a few days, you get back on and you keep going. And that's how people get to follow along and see, like, oh, she's really serious about this. So write day one, write day two, or whatever day. On my Insta stories, I always try to say, oh, I'm on this week of a program. During Lift 4, I would always say, week 4, week 5, week 6, this is our last week, because I want them to understand that I'm doing something that's ongoing, and it's not about kicking butt for a week and then falling off for a month. It's about showing up every day for that little half an hour and making it part of your lifestyle. So do your vital behaviors and then figure out when your little pockets are to work. Well, I had posted that video, I know a lot of you guys have watched it, about sending 50 invites a day. That coach is what she does. That is awesome, but I'll be honest with all of you guys, if you're working a full-time job and if you have kids, that might be too much for you in one day, and that might make you feel defeated. If you did not watch the last week's National Wake Up Call, watch that, because it was about peanut butter and jelly. If I try to word it all, I'm going to say it wrong, because I tried telling Krista the other day about it and totally was messing it up. I'm like, watch the call. She does a way better job. But if you only send 3 of those every single day, you guys are going to be moving your business forward, and you're going to be helping people, and you're going to be hitting Success Club, and you're going to be feeling good, because those small little wins make you feel good. But if you commit to something that's 50 invites every single day, you're going to stress yourself out. If you need to first say, okay, I'm going to do 3 every single day, and I'm going to stick to it, and mark off when you're going to do it, and then put a check by it and let yourself know, okay, here's the 3 people that I did that activity, I did my vitals, that was all I could do today. Awesome. Go to your next day. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite 3 people. Or right now, like I said, we have that webinar on Thursday. Invite people into this journey to learn about the business. If they say no, who cares? They don't want to learn about it. That's totally fine. I actually, 4 years prior to saying yes, I was asked about Beachbody and to become a coach, and I said no and wanted nothing to do with it, didn't want to learn about it, didn't want to know anything, thought it was a sales position, and was like, nope. And I wasn't at a point in my life I needed it. 4 years later, I said yes right away. So if somebody says no, no big deal. They might not be ready for it, and you're not going to force it on them. You're not going to mess up your relationship with them. You're just inviting them to something that could change their life if they're interested in it. If they're not, that is completely okay. And for a webinar, you're not even doing the awkward, I get on the phone with people a lot if they want to learn more about coaching, but you're not even having to get on a one-on-one call. You're literally saying, hey, one of our leaders on our team is going to share about all of this stuff. This is why I think you'd be good at it. Would you be interested in learning? And then follow up with them and remind them, hey, I'm getting on that call, or I'm so excited to get on that call with you tonight, and get on the call and let them be on with you and learn. And don't overthink it, because as a new coach, or even sometimes in the business, even I do 3 years in, I get nervous to invite still randomly I'll have like a day where I feel off and I'm like, oh, what if, I don't know if I should send this invite. But the thing is, you can invite someone, it can change their life. And 3 years ago, I was completely a different person than I am today. And if someone, a complete stranger, wouldn't have invited me to this opportunity, then I wouldn't be home with my kids, and I wouldn't be taking care of myself the way that I am. And I wouldn't be doing something that I love. And that's what you have to think about. If no one invited you to this opportunity, where would you be? Would you be healthy? Would you be losing weight? Would you be having a community? Would you be making yourself better? Because at the end of the day, always, always, always in this business, even if you didn't help anyone for an entire month or an entire year, but you showed up for yourself in a fitness journey, that's a huge win. And that matters, because before building a business, the thing I want for all of you guys is to feel your absolute best, because it's not just a saying that, oh, if you work out and you eat clean, you're going to be a better mom and you're going to be a happier person and you're going to have more energy. All of those things really are true. And when you're eating crappy and when you're not taking care of yourself, you feel bad, and it reflects in all the relationships in your life, and you have a lot of self-doubt. So don't let that be you. Let's really concentrate on just being the best versions of ourselves so that we are able to help people. And again, I don't mean eat clean 24/7, because I'm honest with you guys, I don't. But just trying to take care of yourself so that you can share today. Super easy. I didn't go in my Insta stories today until I don't even know, probably noon, because Chloe had a doctor's appointment and everything was or a dental appointment, and the baby was up and a ton, and I was just a hot mess. I just didn't have time. So when I did go on, I literally was just honest and said hey, I'm jumping on now. And then I shared what I was making for a quick, easy lunch for moms that are busy and for girls that are working and don't have a lot of time. And it literally was like a 5-minute lunch that I make a lot. So I just share it and say, hey, this is what this is. You could do this. It's for busy people. So just share those things. The more you take care of yourself, the easier it becomes to share on social media, because you're proud of what you're doing and you know it can go help another person. Did you guys have any questions about the call or about scheduling those pocket times in your day? No? Okay, awesome. Thank you all for getting on. We have 2 weeks left in the month, and Thursday is our sneak peek into coaching, or our webinar. So even if you haven't helped anyone this month, and even if you haven't signed up any coaches or built your own team, you still have time. And if this webinar goes well and you guys are inviting to it, I don't mind doing them every other week. I don't mind doing them every week if it is going to help move your businesses forward. And it's something that makes it, I think, a lot easier to invite, where you're like, hey, I have an event going on. Let me check.
Yeah, what's that donut thing?
Okay, so basically what it is, when you go to, hold on, I can actually I'll send the video, I'll post the video on our team page, but you can post, I don't do it yet, but it is very, very helpful, and I need to do it. So Cozy is actually the one who made the video on it, and basically when you go to type something, you can type one letter and it will insert your entire thing. So if someone asks hey, can you tell me about your challenge group coming up? You can have it all written out, what you would want to say to someone, and then you'll go to type and it will literally insert your entire thing.
Oh, so instead of copying and pasting stuff, it's already put into your phone or whatever.
Yeah, you just hit the letter and it does it. But it's obviously super, super helpful, and I've needed to implement it. But yeah, it will make your life so much easier. Because that's another thing. If you think about it, you send the similar invites to people, but you go and type it. And then when they respond, you go and type that again. And then you're having the same conversations over and over, and you really can have access to this. And yes, unfollow coaches, you guys, if you have time to watch another coach's Insta stories, or if you have time to sit and know oh, Ashley Smith, what she's doing today, or Amy is doing this, obviously support your team. But if you're spending if you say you have no time and you're watching other people's Insta stories that are coaches, then you have more time than you think, because that was someone that you could have been watching their Insta stories and starting a conversation with them. And you'll realize how much you end up scrolling, because I'm aware that I do that too.
Where are you going, baby?
All right, that is it. So if you guys have any other questions, let me know, but I better see all of you guys with people on Thursday on this webinar, because I know you can, and even make it your goal to try like tomorrow to do a 15-minute pocket time and see how many people you can invite to the coaching opportunity. If you're a brand new coach, all you have to say is, hey, I just started this coaching opportunity. I'm super excited about what it can do. My coach was able to match her income and leave her job. She's a stay-at-home mom, or my leader on our team, if I'm not, whatever, it doesn't matter. But just let them know. You don't have to say as a brand new coach, oh, I left my job and I make this amount of money, or I did this or I did that. You just have to tell them, hey, I'm super pumped about this journey and this is why I'm excited about it. Would you be interested in joining? Because I'm looking for girls that are like me, that want to build a business with me and alongside me. And then invite them. Again, if they say no, no big deal. If they say yes, awesome. They can learn about it and find out. Cool. Hold on, I'm going to take a picture, but I want to try to get everybody's heads on it. Lindsay, your head is actually the only head on my screen.
Oh.
Not that I'm complaining, but. All right, smile. Okay, awesome. Have a great night, and I hope you guys, if you think of any questions, let me know, but I'll also post that donut video for you guys.
Thanks, girl.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.